Hi, I'm Kitty. Many people can speak reasonable English in a formal situation, like in a meeting or talking about a specific issue at work, but very often limited to a few sentences only. When it comes to a casual social situation, they find it rather difficult to carry on a conversation which could last for 50 minutes or even over half an hour. Do you feel the same way? This video will show you the skills we use in chatting with native speakers. One of the skills is using discourse markers, such as, well, on the other hand, you know, but. They make the flow of our speaking clearer and create a smooth transition from one subject into another. So it's easier for your audience to quickly grasp what you are saying. You could also use phrasal verbs, fixed phrases, and question tags to make your speaking more natural. This series has 3 episodes in which I will chat with Julian, who has just finished his A-level exams and returned from England. He will give some good advice about studying in the UK. You will know in the UK, after studying in a primary school for 6 years, students can move on to study another 7 years in secondary school. They will take an exam called IGCSE in the 5th form and an A-level in the upper 6th, or they call it year 13. Okay, now you are going to find out what suggestion Julian has made to other students who want to go to England to study. You will hear a lot of phrases and vocab in our conversation. They are very useful and definitely helpful when chatting with a British person. But before listening to our conversation, I would suggest taking a look at those words first so you can understand our conversation better. Take your time. When you're ready, move your timestamp forward to listen to our conversation. Remember, pay attention to the discourse markers and find out how we use them to change from one subject into another. If you can't catch what we say, don't worry. I will tell you where to get the transcript and our target language after listening to our conversation. Hi, Julian. How are you?
Hi, Kitty. I'm very well. How about you?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. I hear you've just finished your secondary school in England and got very high scores in your exams. Congratulations!
Thanks.
I'm very interested in your learning journey because you used to study in Hong Kong but went to England when you were a fourth form student. Were you a straight A student in Hong Kong?
Well, quite the opposite, actually. Before I went to the UK, my school life in Hong Kong was quite a bit of a mess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I feel like I was forced to study some compulsory subjects that I thought were completely useless, difficult, and unrealistic.
Oh, I see. What made you feel that way?
For example, in Chinese literature, we have to guess what ancient Chinese writer said. I
Right.
mean, why we had to learn some obsolete languages?
So you felt you were unrealistic, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Another one is liberal study. Again, we have to guess why our society was like the way it was. Yet there are so many issues in our society that even adults don't know why. But the exam requires teenage students like myself to comment on what is going on and make them feel like they are right with their comments. If we knew the answer, we would be gods and wouldn't be sitting around here anymore.
I see where you're coming from. Justifying the society at your young age is a bit over your head.
Well, anyway, they were all very subjective and abstract, which I, as a science person, basically couldn't comprehend. Plus, there was so much homework and many assignments that I hadn't got a clue about how to complete them. I spent hour after hour every day to get them done, purely for trying not to get any detention. Still, I got a lot of them, so I wasn't doing well. They totally ruined my mood and enthusiasm to study other subjects as well.
Mm-hmm,
In the end, all my effort went down the pen,
mm-hmm.
and my overall grade for all subjects was a washout.
Mm. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you went through such a rough patch. You and your parents would have suffered quite a lot at that time. So, what did you feel when you knew you could study abroad?
I was completely thrilled and felt very fortunate because I could finally get away from those stupid subjects. At first, I was hoping when I began my study in the UK, I would be able to meet new faces from the four corners of the world, travel around the UK, and have a new, exciting environment where I can have a fresh start again.
This sounds like you set your mind to study in the UK without hesitation, didn't you?
Well, not really. I was, on the other hand, a bit sad as well,
Mm,
because I would have to leave my friends behind in Hong Kong, feeling like our friendship was going to end forever at that time, as we would part ways.
right.
I think all of us face the same problem when leaving our friends.
Mm-hmm,
So, in order to keep in touch with them, we must remain socially active even after we go.
mm-hmm.
Sharing stuff like photos and selfie with them in social media, or contacting them online from time to time.
Oh, you certainly have an old head on young shoulders. You know how to get to grips with problems. Apart from mentally preparing for studying abroad, what kinds of personal belongings did you prepare before leaving for England?
England is quite cold and dry in the winter,
Mm-hmm,
so I prepared some winter clothing, moisture cream, gloves, and whatnot.
mm-hmm,
Things are also more expensive in the UK, especially electronics.
mm-hmm.
So I brought my own laptop, USB, lamp, headphones, as well as some stationery and snacks.
Okay. Amongst those things, is there anything you would particularly suggest to other students that they should take with them?
You know, England is famous for their rainy weather,
Mhm.
so I think you should bring some hiking trousers and boots for rough, muddy terrain, because your school might arrange field trips and take you to countryside. You could also bring a fan with you because they don't have air conditioning.
Okay. I know you stayed in a boarding school, right? Did you have enough space to keep the things you took?
Yeah, I had my own room, and it was about 100 square feet, which was quite spacious.
Mm-hmm.
But still, don't bring too much stuff because you might have to change room every year.
I see. A very good piece of advice to us. Amongst those things you took, which ones did you find useful?
To me, water filter is very essential because in England they use hot water instead of soft water. Equally, the hiking boots, trousers, and the laptop are absolute necessities.
Okay. Was there anything which you took was not used?
Yeah, there was only one thing that I didn't use because the school didn't allow me to use it.
Oh, what was that?
It was the fan heater.
Why? I mean, why did they disallow it?
They claimed it was too dangerous to use it in my room, as this could cause fire.
Uh, I mean, England was quite cold in winter. Do they have central heating?
Yeah, but the central heating system was only on during the night before bed. So it was a tad cold in my room after class in the daytime.
You have shared quite a lot of things about your preparation for going to the UK. Now, would you mind telling me what school year you started in the UK and how long have you been there?
Well, after I finished the fourth form of secondary school in Hong Kong, I went there in 2017 to start as a fifth former, which they call it year 11. I stayed at the same boarding school for 3 years till I finished my A level this year.
Uh, was there any entry test when applying to your school?
Yes, I took an entry test arranged by my school. The test was based on the standard of IGCSE exam.
I know IGCSE exam is taken by international students when they finish the fifth form or year 11. So, do you mean the entry test simulates IGCSE exam and is used to assess students when they enrolled on the fifth form and other forms as well?
Right, it's for assessing those who want to get into the fourth, fifth, or sixth form.
Mm,
Basically, the entry tests of different schools are very similar,
mm.
as they are all based on the IGCSE exam.
Are international students asked to answer the same questions in the entry test, even though they are applying for different years of the school?
Yeah, the school will decide whether your scores are good enough to enter the form you apply for.
Oh, so the result of the entry test is very important then.
Exactly. Plus, it decides what subjects you can study in school.
Mhm.
So I suggest doing more IGCSE past papers in order to get good score in the entry test.
Right. Uh, what other issues would you suggest to other students?
Well, as I've said, IGCSE must be taken when you finish the fifth form. Although it overlaps with the A-level materials,
Mhm.
the content of IGCSE is of lesser depth than A-level.
Oh,
So I'd say the IGCSE exam are way too easy.
oh,
If you're like me, who has finished the fourth year in Hong Kong or China and has got a high score in the entry test,
mhm,
you could actually choose to skip 1 year
mhm.
and start from sixth form instead of doing the fifth form.
Oh, so Jeremy, in your case, you could have skipped 1 year and finished your A level in 2 years instead of spending 3 years there.
Yeah, I think so. You can get the most out of it if you simply start from sixth form straight away.
Right. But I wonder why your agent hadn't advised you about this.
Well, most agencies usually just tell you to do those traditional way, as in my case.
True. Why rock the boat? Hmm. Any more tips for us?
Well, I think you could always change the school later on in UK. After studying for some time, you will know more about other UK academic choices.
Mhm.
Getting A level is just one of the options.
Hmm. I believe your advice certainly gives us food for thought. I hope you can master how to use discourse markers now and make yourself understood. If you couldn't catch our conversation, I have pasted the link here. You could download the transcript as well as the target language used in this video. Thank you very much for watching my video. Bye!